sin. It's like giving up before you begin. Stars were dancing in their light, paths that we could never run. Oh, they were dancing.
Hi everybody, welcome. We are here for a match with UK Valorant. Links to the Discord in the description, open to everyone across the UK at university. I'm joined by Samuel, or Afghan,
Hello.
and we're here for a match on Haven.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
I probably should, that's a good point. I'm Joe, aka McFugglemuffin. I mean, obviously you have to go in a couple of minutes, but what are your
I'll be right back.
thoughts going into a match on Haven?
Okay, so my opinion on Haven, it's a very mobility and area denial type of map. So having especially a jet as your main entry flagger is really important due to just huge amounts of mobility, being able to move from site to site through those connectors, which is much easier than say a Phoenix or a Raze. Having area denial with someone like a Viper or a Brimstone, that's really important as well in order to cut off those lines of sight, especially in the Viper's case, just completely blocking off their entryway entirely, because unlike Brimstone smokes, Viper's orbs actually damage the enemy. So having a good balance between mobility and area denial is probably the best course of action on this map. And we'll have a look at see what our agents are in just a moment's time.
Is there anyone you're expecting not to see get picked for this match?
Honestly, I think this game is really balanced, so I'll be fine with basically everyone. And it looks like we do have a jump on both sides, which is, I like to see. Extremely high mobility, high octane action. I like it.
We actually have the same team comp on both sides,
We do,
don't we?
actually, that's
So we have a mirror
that's
match here.
interesting. We see a lot of we see the mobility from both the Jet and the Omen. The entry flag capability of the Phoenix, the Sage, who is almost invaluable, and both teams going with the Sova. I always think he's like the more aggressive version of Cypher. Cypher taking a bit more of a passive turn for intel gathering.
We see the attackers moving up through A short. Xeno pushing very aggressively, but moving backwards. It turns out the attackers have actually gone through long, because I was incorrect. See the Omens smoking off, trying to just pause their assault onto the site as much as possible. And Jack going down to Hibbo there. Xeno possibly trying to pull a rotate, although deciding against it. The Sage going instead. Doc Brodo taking down the Potato Warlord. And we see McFett pulling off a very good flank to get a pick on the Sage. It is now a 2v2. Omen's still up, and McFett goes down. The flank has ended. Arc left on his own, and he manages to clutch it with a nice double pick. So, a good win there for the attackers. Right? Was that the attackers?
It was the defenders, you mean?
It was the defenders, sorry.
Yes,
Yeah, of course it was. Oh, it's so confusing when there's the same people on both teams.
It was a good defense. It was very almost roam heavy defense.
McFett pulling off that flank around the back.
Yeah, there was also a little bit of a mishap where it looks like the attackers almost C9'd and left the bomb back in garden, which was kind of embarrassing.
Well,
It was a very doesn't look like he's going for a wallbang.
going for a cheeky pre-fire. All of the attackers pushing through mid. And getting one pick. Getting a second on Rag. Trying to slow the attackers as much as he can so his team can rotate. Hibbo here holding the back of mid, smoking it off to stop himself getting flanked. But up Dizzle, taking another frag. But unfortunately going down, but McFett does get the refrag. Nice work boosting herself up on top of the wall to get another frag in mid, taking herself to 3 that round.
Yeah, it was in both those cases, it was a very almost single-handed push. There was no split pushing in any way. It was pretty much like an all or nothing
Hmm.
strat by the attackers. I wonder if they're going to try and change it up with this Phoenix.
Yeah, I think it's always good to have at least one person just somewhere else to, you know, pick up a frag or maybe just stop the defenders rotating around behind you, you know?
It's a very long range tower.
We see...
I'm very sorry, but I will have to leave for religious reasons. For about
That
5
is,
minutes. I'll be
that is
back.
perfect, alright. We see the, yeah, we see the attackers here coming through short, getting a pick on one of the people. I didn't see who that was, unfortunately. McFett now holding the site on his own, but the Sage is rotating over to assist him and give him a little bit of a heal. The attackers seem to have control over the site in terms of being in there, but they haven't quite broken into the heart of it to get the plant down. We see McFett going back onto site to try and hold them off. The attackers kind of just stalling at this point, not doing much to make an aggressive play. And now maybe we see it as 3 of them push on. All at once, McFett having to pull back once again. We see a lot of utility used to push him out of the site. Arctizzle taking down the opposing Omen there. Finally getting the first frag on the attack of this round, but the spike has gone down. Warlord is above sight in heaven, trying to get a snipe, but unfortunately he gets picked off. McFett pushes in, gets the refrag, and unfortunately dies to Rag. It's now a 2v1 with Ark left behind. He takes down Rag, and he is alone on site, using the resurrection to get himself an ally to cover for that defuse. Shadow tries to push John, but Arctizzle knows and goes for the frag before finishing off the defuse, giving the defenders a nice 3-0 lead now. I think Ark is going to be a player to watch. I'm sure Stan will agree with me once he's back. He's on 9 kills already, over double the second highest fragger in the match, McFett. But the rest of his team is falling a bit behind the rest of the game in terms of kills, whereas the attackers are all sort of pretty much even, which might pay off for them in the long run. In terms of defensive strategies, we now see that the standard 2 on A, 2 on B, or sort of 1 on B and 1 close by, and then 1 alone on C. And the attacker's going for a very weird split push, 2, 2, and 1, similarly. We see Hibbo here trying to go mid. Again, they're not playing very aggressively. They're just sort of hanging about, trying to maybe get that first pick to let them into the site. Jack takes down 2 as he hid in the corner, waited long enough to peek out and make use of his abilities. See Rag now pushing up onto B site. Jet is watching that angle. Will she see him as the smoke drops? No, but she will see Hibbo push up from behind and take the kill, dropping back off. And Rags does actually pay off by going all the way up mid, taking out Ark. Could be a key play, although he completely whiffs and doesn't even shoot at Xeno, who peeks the corner and wins the round. The defender's now 4-0 up. And I think that puts them in a very good position to sort of just keep playing the same way and just wait to see what the attackers do to try and change up their strategy, which at this point might be necessary. We see them possibly trying to go mid doors up into garage, which would leave them either going to C or to B. But then the Omen is still trying to push A to get one of those frags.
I apologize for my absence. I am back.
It's alright, we've had 2 rounds to the defenders. It seems still be going their way. Hibbo teleporting onto site here, trying to get that frag, but can't quite get it, but then he does. Xeno taking down Doc. See Rags take down Xeno, and Potato Warlord gets the refrag on Hibbo. McFett takes down Shadow, and it is now 3v2. Defenders with the upper hand. McFett teleporting up to try and get whoever's in mid. And he does, as Rags tries to rotate away, but isn't quite fast enough. And Jack takes down Snake to end the round.
I'd like to comment on that ultimate use by Hibbo.
Hmm.
It was a very good use of his ultimate. He using that barrier on the back of B site in order to teleport and sneak up on Dizzle was
Yeah.
good use. Unfortunately, he just wasn't watching all of his corners.
Yeah,
He was able to get punished from his right side.
I think he obviously he got the first frag, but then it wasn't quite the payoff that he maybe expected.
I mean, after you get that fast frag, you're basically giving away your position. You need to be on the guard the entire time, since you're you're deep behind enemy lines.
We see Shadow and Snake being joined by the rest of their team to push up onto C. Recon Bolt seeing them. But the defenders don't really make much of a play to rotate apart from their Phoenix. Rag using his ultimate there to push onto site, and he gets a frag for it. No, that wasn't his ultimate. Or was it? I can't tell. It was. Potato Warlord getting 2 kills. And they have the plant off. Now it's a 3v3. Potato getting another kill, but Doc getting the refrag. You know, picking off Rags. McFett brings the round back. And they are now 6 rounds ahead of their opponents.
That was very good use of the running back by the Phoenix.
Definitely got them onto site.
Yeah. Definitely living up to his entry frag and name. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't capitalize on that 2-man advantage they had.
I think there actually seems to be holding the site once they get that plant down. The defenders seem to be very good at getting the site re-controlled and defusing. Yeah.
I'm really not sure about the whole idea of every attacker going almost the exact same way. I feel like a lot more rotation should be taken. Splitting between A and B or B and C, or pushing through one direction is not an ideal.
We see them all sitting at a lobby now, all of them going long, not a single one of them trying to go short. Shadow trying to use his ultimate for an entry frag, but doesn't seem to be working. The defender's learning to sit quite far back and just spray through the smoke. Frag's pushing up really far, gets a pick onto Heaven, and the Jet that tries to drop down on top of him. McFett still gets the refrag though, but Doc Brodo gets the refrag. We see they now have site control and they are planting the spike. Jack is coming up for a flank. And Doc goes for the res to bring them back to a 5-man. Now, surely they have to win this, right?
I mean, it depends if they aren't watching all their corners.
I mean, as they clearly weren't, as Jack takes down 2 of them already.
I was going to almost berate the defenders for being so hesitant to advance onto the A side. But it looks like it may be a bit too late. The spike has been down for a long time already.
Jack gets the 3rd, but does get killed. Potato Warlord takes down 1, but doesn't quite get the last frag to win the round.
At that point, I'm not sure if I would have gone for the frags. The spike had been down for a long time. I would have tried to go for exit frags at that point. Going aggressive basically meant them losing the economy. If the Sova and the Phoenix went for those 3 picks and then backed off and they waited for exit frags, that would have been the ideal strategy, since the round had already been lost by the time that they were too slow to come to the site. The spike had almost already been planted, and Sova was still on C and nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think being 6 rounds ahead probably is making them feel a bit better than they maybe are in this match. Which might have been what lost them the round there, but we'll just have to see. The attackers playing again around the garden area of the map, not really making many moves to push, as they did lose their Jet in mid quite early on. And now pushing into a lobby, maybe, or they're just going to sit there holding angles, which I don't know how that really works for the attacking team, but Doc Brodo does get a pick on mid, and this might just give them the oomph they need to push onto a site.
Revealing area. Found them.
And Potato Warlord picks up a pick through the Omen smoke. But he is getting ultimated. Can he survive it? Seems he can. Arc coming in to support him. Ooh. We see a slow ground. Or a slow orb, sorry. Trying to prevent that push onto site. And the attackers are going for another rotate. Back to A, but this Jet is weak. And she does make use of it, getting a pick. Getting 2. Getting 3 to win the round for the defenders. That is quite good play from her there.
What are the attackers doing? Honestly, they aren't pushing with enough confidence. I feel like the 7-1 lead is kind of getting to their heads. They were going to A side, to C side, to B side. There was no cohesion. There was no confidence from them to push forward into a site. They need to, really have a talk within themselves and, gain some confidence in order to get any traction in this game.
Yeah, and we see them now going for an eco round. A few of them do have money, but I think they just need to build that economy back up again after, well, losing 7 out of the 8 rounds. Brodo throwing in a slow orb, but I don't know how much that's going to help them when they're the ones trying to push in. Using the wall to boost herself up, but I don't think it worked. Arc doing the same. Ooh, getting wall banged because of that recon bolt. You see all the attackers just sat in mid, but the Jet is rotating to maybe try and stop the flank. Although, McFett going for it, but not actually getting any kills out of it. Shadow Realm also taking down an opponent. All the run it back being wasted there by Warlord. Very nice shot. And we see him actually finally getting the kill. Arctis also taking out Snake. Jack taking out Hibbo. There is only 1 attacker left now on A side, coming on the back, about to meet the opposing Sage, and Arc takes him down. As I was saying while you were gone, Sam, Arctizzle seems to be a very high fragger in this match.
It was a very nice 3k by Arctizzle. We actually see both our Sages doing extremely well in the kill department. I feel like most people might see Sage as a very backseat healer, backseat support character. If you actually go aggressive, you can get some really good kills. Her slow orb makes it so that a slow orb mixed with a barrier orb, putting those two in conjunction can make some really good setups.
Yeah. We see the attackers trying to push into mid doors and also onto A at the same time, which is a split push, but maybe not the right one, as Xeno does get a pick onto Rag. Doc Brodo killing Jack there in a straight up gunfight. You see the attackers now just sat in mid all together, rather than trying to split it up and cover more angles. They all seem to just be looking in the same area, hoping that someone will keep their head out for them, I suppose. McFett trying to get some height above them. And we do still see Xeno holding the back of them, so they can't push around and go to A now. They are kind of stuck in the middle of McFett and Xeno. McFett taking down Hibbo. But Snake getting the refrag there. Ooh, apologies. It's a 2v2. But Potato Warlord tries to change that. Top Brodo getting the refrag. Now down to these two. And Xeno takes down Doc Brodo. Doc Brodo trying very hard there to control the recall, but I guess Xeno was just slightly better at it.
This is...
It's going to be a quick match.
I believe it will be a quick match, which is unfortunate. I see a lot of potential in the attackers as individuals. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure how well they could perform as a cohesive whole. If you're looking at their stats, Doc Brodo and Vags are solid players.
I mean, they're up there with the highest fraggers on their opposing team, but I think it's just getting that cohesion that's stopping them. Yeah. See Rag trying to push through mid doors here. Wow. Their Jet goes towards C, and that Omen takes down Xeno, but not before they've lost one of their own. Jack takes down Snake, but
Got
Rag
spike.
does get the refrag immediately and picks up the spike. It seems like he's going for a rotate. Oh, narrowly avoiding that operator shot there. Ark trying to hold B on his own. The defenders are now down to one person per site. And it seems like the attackers are going through a short and going to have to challenge the Omen defending there. Ah, he falls right into the trap. McFett getting an easy frag there, but Shadow Realm does kill him back, and they do get the spike down. We see Ark going heaven with that operator again, trying to get the kill. Reviving McFett, giving them the player up. He knows where the jet is, he can just watch that angle for all day. But unfortunately, it does get smoked off, I think, by his own team there. Maybe not the best play. Potato Waller takes down Shadow and seemingly goes for the defuse as Rags takes down McFett. He gets flashed,
Concentrate,
but
Silva.
he got to the midway point. Arctizzle takes down Rag, and they get the defuse. So, it's just been round 11. We're into the last round of the half, and what are your thoughts?
This was. I feel like the attacks haven't been particularly strong. It's either they all get pincered in one area, they all funnel themselves into one easy choke point that they have too many angles to watch, or they spread themselves a bit too thin, like we see right now. We have 3 players in A, 1 player in B, and 1 player in C. I feel like that's a bit too thin. The Jet should move with the Phoenix together.
Get out of my way!
We see them. Oh, Jack taking down Shadow on C, making that solo push not really worth it.
over! You're dead!
Xeno now pushing up quite aggressively to try and find those attackers in Garden.
Nowhere to run!
Jack using his ultimate to maybe flank and get a pick. Xeno taking down 2 with the knives there. Oh, but getting taken out by Doc Brodo as he rounds the corner. Now, still holding the same angle as very cleverly Omen rotates and teleports to the other side, but Doc Brodo takes down Potato Warlord. Can he do this round on his own? He's still got 2 more defenders to take down. But he doesn't know where McFett is. Will he push out? No, it seems like he is just holding that angle, and he will, and get taken down. McFett, beautiful play there to teleport over to the other side of the door and just really wait for Ark to push out.
I think that.
Sorry, not Ark, Brodo.
I feel like Brodo's plan there was to try and vet someone, make it less precarious for him, bring it up to a 2v2 situation. Just not knowing that McFett was there, he must have heard the teleport, but I guess not. By failing to hear that and hearing that audio cue of that teleport, it kind of lost him the round. They had the operator; he could have absolutely wallbanged
Yeah.
McFett if he knew he was there.
I mean, I think McFett played that very well, though, because I think I would have certainly tried to peek and get the kill, but that might not have worked out so well. So him waiting really sort of won him that engagement, I think. As we go into the second half, we see Xeno take down Rags in the pistol round. Hippo taking quite a high angle, maybe trying to get 1 or 2 frags as the attackers come into A. And he manages it, taking out McFett. Snake pushing around to reinforce the site, but the attackers are on the site now. Arctizzle taking down 1, Potato Waller taking down another. Although Doc Brodo takes down 2, takes down 3, Arctizzle, Potato Waller, and Jack all going down. We see Xeno trying to regain site control, but I think he might have lost it. And the defenders pull off the round. I mean, they're going for the defuse. Xeno has to push now, and Doc Brodo takes him down for a 4-kill win. The defenders there, taking them up to 2 total wins for this match.
Doc Brodo showing that he is the law in that round, getting a 4K with the Sheriff. That was brilliant play. And brilliant vehicle control by Doc Brodo right there.
I think it's interesting that the moment we swap sides, the team that we maybe pushed out seemed to absolutely dominate the round almost.
Well,
I mean, maybe it was just Doc Brodo, but
it's only 1 round. You could
it is
never
only
know.
1 round.
But
See Doc Brodo buying a sniper now, straight
buying a
away.
The Marshal is actually really good. If you can land those headshots, as we've seen Doc Brodo do, you know, this is basically a quarter fight score by hands.
And we see Shadow pushing very aggressively there to pick off McFett. Very calculated, and it paid off. Snake taking down Xeno, can't quite get the frag, but now he can on Potato Warlord. He is really holding down Garage, but he does unfortunately get killed by Jack. You see Shadow trying to go for the flank, but everyone's left. And now we see the lone player on C trying to push around the back. Jack encounters the Sage, takes her down because she was coming out of her ability animation, takes the sniper rifle. Interesting choice. Maybe I wouldn't take it myself, but we see him holding an angle now.
He was going eco. I feel like getting the Marshal was the best choice.
And he does actually make it pay off with a kill on Shadow. But now, can he actually win the round? That is the real question.
The spike is very far away.
We see Hibbo just trying to watch that spike, and Rag sat so that if he falls, he can watch the site. Jack apparently not going straight for the spike, but not quite checking all his angles well enough. And Hibbo does manage to take him down and win the round. So that's 2 in a row for the new defenders.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that they've got some confidence back. It may just be a case of the players just being more suited to
Defense.
the defense.
That is always possible,
I've
but
yet to see the meta of this game. It may just be that this map is quite defender-sided. That could be an option, but I don't know. Maybe these guys are much more comfortable on defense than they are on attack. It is a very daunting prospect.
ooh, Xeno getting a very early frag there, almost as soon as the barriers drop. Potato Warlord getting a headshot on Shadow as well. That takes off 2 players straight away, and the attackers have a huge lead. Snake, however, taking down 2 of them, but Xeno getting that refrag. Jack takes down Raz. His ultimate ends, and he teleports back. The attackers still 2 players ahead, and they are on site with Spike, and it is now planted. We see Hibbo trying to push around from despawn here, smoking off onto site. But we do see Jack pushing him as well, although he has decided to retreat. Hibbo not taking the obvious route into site, going through Garage instead, but Jack preempts it and takes him down. It's a round for the attackers and puts them on match point.
Once they reached that first 5v3, I thought it was all over, but Snake with that double kill, bringing it back.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize on that man equalizer, and I don't know. I feel like maybe the defenders were a bit too spread out. The attackers were all on site.
I feel like that's something this map does, though. With 3 sites, you can't really have your defenders sort of all in one place, can you?
No, that is not. It's not ideal.
You see the attackers here going for a long and a short,
out
which
of
is
my way.
really what the now defenders should have been doing in the last half, is pushing multiple ways onto the same site. So, you know, trying to go for a frag with the knives, but getting picked off by Rags. Throwing a slow orb, I believe, to sort of slow the defenders down. Hibbo in a smoke. Rags still holding onto site with a flash, although he does get himself with it. And unfortunately, McFett manages to take him down. Potato Warrior takes down Hibbo. 3 defenders left. They have to win this round if they want to stay in the game, which they're going to be doing for a while. The attackers are either planting the spike. Doc Brodo sat in heaven. Can he pull off another Sheriff play, like we saw earlier? No. Uck takes him down straight away, as does Jack takes down an opponent. And we see Potato Warlord ultimate through the wall to kill Snake and win the match for his team.
Brilliant Hunter's Fury right at the end there, tracking his opponent, almost anticipating exactly where he was going to be. That was brilliant play by Potato Warlord to finish off the game.
I mean, as we see here, Doc Brodo, the statistics think he's the best player in the match. Unfortunately, maybe he was just on the wrong team today. As we see his 5 opponents being the next 5 highest ranking players on the team, on the entire game, sorry.
Yeah, I think that, as you could, from what you can tell from the scoreboard, it looks to me that it was the winning team had a very balanced comp. Everyone complemented each other. The kill disparity is only 5. They all putting in almost equal effort, all of them. When you look at the losing team, you had the one standout player, and it just goes to show, even if you do have one standout player, if your teammates can't pick up the slack, you're not going to get the results.
And yeah, as you say, the kill disparity there is only 5, whereas with the losing side, it's 3 times that at 15.
15, yes.
Which is well, it's certainly a way to lose a match. I can tell you that much.
I will say it was a very valiant effort by the red team. It was, yeah. I don't know. I feel like it was just that maybe the green team were just better overall. They managed to get, they were able to gel together as a team much better than the red team were. Doc Frodo was just going in for the frags, and the other team were basically just trying to back him up using their utility to help him, to enable him in order to secure the kills. Whilst you look at the defending team.
The defending team, so the winners.
The winners, yeah. It was just like.
I don't know. I don't know if the losing team maybe played into them a bit in the as we saw in the first half, very all in one way, or everyone's everywhere. No sort of consistent. Okay, we're going to split push down these 2 angles, and I think maybe that just allowed the defenders to sort of secure easy rounds and get good eco for the first half.
And we can speak to them now. We have Doc Broder with us to explain to us how you felt after that game. Doc Broder, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. It's an interesting game. Yeah, not really the game I want to be popping off on when slight heavy defeat, but
we did comment on your extremely clean 4K with the Sheriff.
Thank you.
At the start of the second half there, we were both very impressed by that.
Thank you, so was I.
It
surprised myself.
It was a very crisp, clean Glock he had on there.
I don't know, I like crisp, clean locks does come out sometimes, very occasionally, but better late than never.
Alright,
so obviously, in the first half, I don't know, maybe you didn't feel the same as us, but your team seemed to not have much confidence when pushing onto the sites.
No, it didn't. It was a lot of...
attack.
Everyone was hesitating a bit too much before going on. It was... Yeah, by the time we ended up pushing on, it was too late, and they'd all rotated around, unfortunately, but...
Yeah, there was one round, I don't remember which round it was. You were pushing towards A site, there was no movement from Gardens, and then you suddenly rotated all the way over to C site, couldn't get the frag onto their Sova, and then tried to move back to A, but by that time, your numbers were so low that it was
yeah. Unfortunately, just kept peeking site at a time and just getting whittled down on the team. Not really working out too well.
Do you think this was a case of your team not just having the confidence to go for the frags, or do you think it was, I don't know, maybe you work better as individuals rather than a team?
I think it probably might have been a bit of a lack of confidence, at least because we went into it being told that one of them was a pro TF2 player or something. I don't know. So I think some of them were a little hesitant to push their little shake up, hesitant to push their Sage at all. So it was alright. It is what it is. Still a good game though.
I also want to know about your opinion on Sage. When the game came out, I was always thinking that Sage would be like the backseat, almost Mercy kind of character. But
yeah,
especially you and Arcdizzle, and I know a few others on this server, use her very aggressively. What's your opinion on this almost battle Sage meta?
I think the fact that if it was like a Mercy or something from Overwatch where it was just sort of healing teammates, then it probably would be. But the fact that you can run in, get a couple of frags, then get yourself back up to full health, kind of lends itself towards playing a more aggressive role.
Almost like a Doc from Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, kind of. Because you can give yourself a second chance almost. You don't need to then just play careful angles. You can play more aggressive still.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us and providing us with some good plays in that match.
Anytime.
we're going to go to a short break now, and then we'll be back for another match. Thanks for watching.
Won't be no fear